Podcast Network. This is the Lifestyle Live Podcast.
Faces you know and a team you can trust. Stories that form your heart. Lifestyle Live. Lifestyle Live.
It's a new crime drama on the CW featuring a homicide detective who becomes clinically blind and uses technology and a remote guide to help her solve cases. Amber Hankins here, and on this Lifestyle Live podcast episode, I chat with actresses Dolly and Agum Darshi about Sight Unseen. This is the Lifestyle Live podcast on the All Indiana Podcast Network.
Lifestyle Live.
Welcome back, everybody. It is a new crime drama on the CW. It features a homicide detective who is forced to quit the job she loves after an incident in the field. We are joined right now by Dolly and Agum Darshi. Thank you both so much for being here, telling us about the new crime drama on the CW, Sight Unseen. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Oh, in sync. I like that. All right, Miss Dolly, let's start with you. This is so interesting to me. I was reading up on it this morning. What is it like for you to be playing this role? And I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you might have some personal experience a little bit with what's going on with the character.
Yeah, I do. I have some issues with my sight of my own that I've, had my whole life since I was a very little kid, and others that developed more recently in my 20s. And there is still a big gap that I needed to bridge in order to play Tess, because my condition is very slow progressing. Hers happens all of a sudden, and it's much more severe. So figuring out how to do that, as part of the actor's craft, obviously, how I do that emotionally, how I do that physically in terms of behavior. But it was also a really incredible experience in terms of letting Tess teach me a little bit more. I think I'm like her also in that I'm a bit of a lone wolf. Asking for help is not my favorite thing to do. And learning through her how to do that, because she's really forced to, was an incredible experience that I hope I'll keep with me forever.
This is so interesting because I know preparing for a character like this can't be easy, but you also want to be respectful and authentic to what is happening, but also make it fun. Was that a big part of what you were hoping to do, Dolly?
Yeah, absolutely. I think in order for people to learn about anything, they need to have fun. I think back to being a kid in school, and the classes that I remember the least were the most boring, were the most strict. The teachers who were fun and who, shared things through humor and through lightheartedness. I really connected through that way. I think everybody does. So I'm just really glad that, we were able to have fun together in the beginning, and it was a big priority, I know, for the showrunners to keep that, because the material is heavy and, the cases are suspenseful and scary.
Sure.
So having that balance, I think, is really important.
Agum, I'm so interested in your character as well. Let's talk about the chemistry that you both have. I know a lot of your scenes seem to be shot separately. So how do you maintain that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, my character, Sunny Patel, is agoraphobic, so she never leaves her home. And I am Tess's eyes. Yeah. She wears a little hidden camera, and I basically am able to help her navigate life, and together we solve crimes. And so it was really tricky at first. We didn't know how we were going to do it, but I was able to read off-camera lines for Dolly for the first couple of episodes. And I think just from understanding who she was as a human, as an actor, and her, getting to know me, we got really close, and it just developed a real friendship. And that kind of paved the way for the rest of the season. And so later on, when schedules got a little bit busier, we weren't in the same room together to do those off-camera lines. We had readers, and so it was a lot about our imagination and just trying to just imagine what the scenario would be, what the crime would be, what would Tess actually be doing in this, and really just feeling into the fact that I really cared about this woman, this character, and I wanted to help her.
You can tell that you both really do, and it certainly comes across. I can't wait to see what is next, what is in store. I wish we had so much more time to talk, but thank you so much for being here and just really sharing your heart, your passion about this project, because that certainly comes through, and that is what matters more than anything else. So thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
You bet.
Lifestyle Live. Lifestyle Live.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the Lifestyle Live Podcast. Thank you for listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And connect for even more on Facebook and at lifestylelive.tv.
Faces you know and a team you can trust. Stories that form your heart. Life